Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Success Grade podcast. My guest today, Shoshana Chaim. She is a Shoshana Chaim. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay, forget that. Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Success Grade podcast. My guest today, Shoshana Chaim. She is a former teacher who turned wellness expert who concentrate on helping families make healthier life choices. She's also a teacher of children yoga and the host of the Plant Trainers podcast. Shoshana, welcome to the Success Grade podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Hussein.
Awesome. Thank you very much for being here today. So let me first get into this. You were a teacher, right?
Yep.
And you are now in the health and industry. So tell us a little bit about the story, how you from teacher to a health and nutrition expert.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll do that. It has been quite a journey, actually. I was a teacher for 15 years, and when I was
Okay.
for a
Amazing.
long time. Yeah. And when I was pregnant with my youngest child, my husband had a tumor and heart disease, and I was told 3 times over 9 months that I was going to have to raise both kids actually on my own, that
Sorry
he
to
was
hear
very
that.
sick and he might not be here, so we should be prepared.
Yeah,
And
but I from understanding from you, your husband is fine now. From what I
yeah,
understand from you, previous talk
he's
with you.
totally fine now. He's totally fine now. And part of the reasons why he's fine now is what we started to teach with other people. And the day that we found that out, actually, I remember going back and visiting my parents and going back onto my old bed and throwing a tantrum and screaming and crying, and my parents really having to calm me down because it's not what I wanted, right? It's not what I wanted in life. And I was really upset, and I couldn't see the big picture, and I couldn't see how it was going to get better. And it was in that moment that I realized that I needed to provide for my children, and I needed to be able to, if my husband were to go away, that I wanted to provide for them a life that they could enjoy, that they would be happy and healthy and have everything they needed, but be able to do it on my own. And when my husband decided to change his diet, within 1 year, his heart disease went away completely and his tumor shrunk. And that's when we kind of decided, hey, more people need to know about this. So we started the Plant Trainers podcast, and we got some nutrition certification behind us, and we started coaching people in that. And that was going really well in terms of the results I was getting people, but it wasn't going really well in terms of the income I was providing. I was making less money doing that than I was as a teacher. So I knew then that I needed to kind of change my business model and really step up and be an entrepreneur that could be successful. So yeah, it took a lot of ups and downs throughout the years, but we're finally in a really great place.
Yeah, awesome. Because you're talking about, for example, being with your children more. So you wanted to be in a place where you are spending more time with them and also providing them, which is good, very good actually, which is a lot of people are looking for. So in this transition, in this place where you went from here to here, what challenges did you face?
So I faced the challenge of not being able to provide for the family, right? I had left my teaching job, and my teaching job kept me super busy. It was teaching all day, leaving the house before the kids were up, coming home, making dinner, preparing lessons for the next day, speaking to parents on the phone. So I was barely with my family. So I left teaching to open a business, saying, okay, I could be more flexible. And I was more flexible, but I was still working till all hours of the night, waking up super early to get things done and not making a ton of money. So from there, I ended up having some major health issues, right? I was still experiencing this PTSD, this trauma of thinking I was going to lose my husband, and this trauma of leaving a job that at least paid money, but
and provided for your family also.
Provided for my family. And I thought I could do the same as an entrepreneur, but that wasn't happening. So my hormones really took a deep dive. I couldn't get up in the morning. I was falling asleep at red lights. My brain wasn't working. So reading or writing, I couldn't remember what I read. And when I wrote, my handwriting was so messy, I couldn't even read it. So I wasn't able to work. So I was in this this health crisis myself, and I couldn't help other people the same way that I could help myself. I went to acupuncture, I went to Chinese medicine, I went to chiropractor, I went to mainstream medicine, and nothing could work. And I just got more and more depressed, more and more anxious, and my body was falling apart. And that's when, you know how divine timing, right? Like things come to you when you need them the
Yeah.
most. And a friend of my husband said, come and look at this project we're putting together. We're looking for marketers. And
Oh,
I said, I'm not a marketer. Marketing is not my strong suit. I'm
yeah.
really good at what I do and getting people results, but selling to them was not what felt right to me. But I went and I listened, and thank God I did, because that was the point where my health was able to turn around. This technology that she was marketing
Mm,
saved my life. And then I was able to educate people about it so
cool.
that it could save their life. And then they
Yeah.
help other people. And then I get to step up into a leadership position. So I never for a day felt like I was selling anything. And it's been a life changer. So for me, I know I can provide for my family
Mm,
now. I get to lead every day, I get to teach every day. And I don't have to rely on my spouse to
mm.
provide for my family. I could feel really good about what I'm
Yeah.
providing as well.
Awesome. Yeah, you had really tough times and challenges, especially when you have like your thinking about your children, you think about your husband, and then you have your own situation with yourself. So it's like a lot of things to juggle, and you actually went through that and you rose up, let's say, to the challenge. So that's amazing. So now you mentioned, like, for example, when your husband changed his diet and changed his, let's say, routines, that got you the idea of to start your business, right? So yeah, what's the solution or the things that you did, that you discovered to make this business and transform it into a business?
So the first thing for us was nutrition. We were already personal trainers on the side. Every teacher needs a side job because it doesn't pay enough money, right?
Really?
So
Really? Doesn't pay enough as a teacher?
it doesn't pay enough as a teacher. Plus you have weekends, you have summer, so you have a bit of time to do other. But yeah, so we wanted to provide people with the opportunity to learn more about different things than what we're just taught in school or taught from our parents, right? We know we need
Mm,
to exercise, we know we need to eat well, but what does that mean? So plant-based nutrition was really important for us. When we took away the meat, meat makes all of your cells grow, but it doesn't show the difference between good cells and bad cells, right? So if you have poisonous cells in your body, those are going to continue to multiply and those are going to continue to grow. So when you could take away the animal products, you can slow down tumor growth, you could slow down cancer growth.
really?
Yeah, so that
I
was
didn't know
really
that.
important. Yeah, that was really important for us to know. That's how his tumor, we took away all animal products and his tumor shrunk. His heart disease went away. We stopped putting cholesterol, stopped putting saturated fat into the body, and his heart was able to clean itself. But that wasn't enough for me. Meditation was really important for me. And the people who we spend time with and the influence they have and the stress in our
Mm,
life.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was really important too. And then, even though I was doing all of those other things, right? Exercise, nutrition, stress management, it wasn't quite enough. So sleep was really important, but also it was, aren't my cells working properly? Why aren't my cells healing my body fast enough? And that's when I realized that, when I went to this meeting that my friend was running, I realized that our cells are gumballs, right? They're these gumballs, and they need to be round and they need
Mm,
to be full and beautiful. And when we eat good food and we sleep and we exercise, it's helping the outside of the cell stay in good integrity. But
mm,
then there's this liquid inside the cell, and every 10 years we lose 10% of that liquid. But if the outside's not good, we're losing even more. So there's no way to ever refill the cell. Doesn't matter what foods we eat, we'll never refill the cell. But one company in the whole entire world, all the universities are making it, but one company has figured out how to refill that cell. So instead of the gumball being like this, the gumball goes back to being this beautiful round circle again.
Yeah.
And then the communication is bouncing off it like a trampoline. But if the trampoline's too soft, you don't jump high. But when the trampoline's nice and firm, you jump much higher.
Yeah.
So when the communication, when the Wi-Fi in the body is working really well, we can heal much faster. And that was the breaking point for me. So those are the main areas that we concentrate on. We concentrate on movement, on nutrition, on stress management, on sleep, but also we need to refill our body with these molecules, with this cellular fluid inside of our little gumballs, so that we can function properly, especially when we're doing all the other things and not getting the results we're getting. So now what I do is I help people one-on-one with that, but I also teach this to other health practitioners, right? Other doctors, other chiropractors,
awesome.
massage therapists, because they need to know about it too, because they have clients that aren't getting good enough results, but we can let everybody feel really, really happy, healthy, and younger again. And then we have more energy to work in our business and make more money and provide more for our family.
But for example, the space that you are in now, it's very competitive, right? Let's say the health industry is very competitive. So, but the thing is that you kind of apparently found some kind of angle to work with it. For example, you mentioned like meat has maybe some bad effects on some people, right? So sometimes it's important to see what certain nutritions or food that works with a certain body. So yeah, that's amazing that you work with that.
Yeah, and I do find that space is quite full as well. But in this redox space, in this cellular space that I've been working on more in the last year and a half, I don't find that it's over full, because when I teach people about it, and this is proprietary, this is the only company in the world that can offer it. Nobody else makes redox molecules the way that this at all, not even the way this company does. Nobody else makes it. So when you teach that to people and they want to feel healthy and they give it a try, there's no denying that they can get better. So for me, that's how I've been able to triple my business since the beginning of COVID, is concentrating on our cells and concentrating on these redox signaling molecules.
Awesome. So you also mentioned meditation, for example. So how, to me, I don't know, how does meditation relates to this that you are working on nutrition and being healthier and stuff like that?
So this is about stress management. And for some people, meditation means sitting still. For some people, meditation means prayer. For some people, meditation, when you run and you hear your feet go thump, 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 right? You're getting in a zone, you're calming down, you're not thinking about the worries of your day.
Yes, so like everything is out. You're just in a place where you are, let's say maybe mind free, maybe, I don't know.
Exactly. So, and your nervous system comes down. So when your nervous system comes down, there's less free radicals going on in the body, where, when you cut an apple and you leave it on the counter and it turns all brown, right? That's the oxidation. Like that. Yeah, right. So nobody does. And that's what's happening to our cells inside our body. But when we calm down and we breathe, we're allowing the body the opportunity to, to be healthy and to really, so it all goes together. If you're really, really stressed, your blood pressure is going to be up, right? Stress affects autoimmune disease. It affects hormone disorder. It affects all of the things that could go wrong in the body. So when we bring down the stress through meditation, through prayer, through different breathing techniques, the body can heal. But also when we put more redox into the body, we're also, it's like putting the lemon juice on the apple so that it doesn't turn all brown, and we're actually plumping it back up again. So sometimes it's not necessarily one thing, it's a layer of things together. We need to just help our cells be healthier, because there's too many bad things going on in the world that's affecting our bodies.
Yeah. Especially now with I don't know, fast foods and stuff like that. Everything is now already prepared in packages and cans, and these kind of things that can be prepared fast, can also go bad fast. So it's not it's not a good thing. I'm not a big advocate of that, but sometimes I guess people have to, because like you mentioned, you are a mom, you're a busy mom, you have a lot of things to do, whether you were a teacher or now with your business. So a lot of things to juggle at the same time. So maybe this is why a lot of people don't make healthier life choices, I guess.
Yeah, we get really busy and we have advertisements in front of our face. We turn on the television or we drive down the road and we see, we see fast food commercials. And if you buy something and it tastes good and it's super fast to make, you're like, okay, I'll just do it once, and then it tastes so good and it's so easy, you do it again and again. And people aren't eating enough vegetables, they're not eating enough greens, right? So part of what I do is teach people how to go back and how to do those things more naturally again. But if they can't, or they're not ready, or they're too sick to, I also can provide the proper supplements to feed the body, so the body has enough energy so that they have the willpower to go and make a stew, make a salad, and not pick up the fast food anymore.
Yeah. You mentioned that you work sometimes with people one-on-one as coaching, right? What are the things that you see people faced or challenge, or they don't want to do when they actually should be doing these kind of things?
Right. So I tend to find that people are too stressed or in too much pain to make their own food, right? They don't know what to make anymore. They don't know how to prepare the ingredients in advance. So for that, on the Plant Trainer's website, we have a meal planning mastery course where it teaches them how to break down their week, how to look at their schedule, and how to choose what meals to make on what day, and then do the shopping for it properly. So I'm not telling them what to make, because, you might like chickpeas and I might like lentils, or I might like potatoes, right? There's different things that we like, or that we're allergic to, or that our cultures have us eating more because that's what our parents made us. So I teach people to do that on their own. But if they're too stressed and they're in too much pain to go and do it on their own, I need to address that first, right? So drinking my Redox molecules or rubbing the Redox molecules on the pain, that gives them the opportunity to have more energy, to have more flexibility, to have less inflammation in the body. And then they can start working on what is the food that they're putting in their body. So that I usually end up working with people who come to me and say, I've tried everything else, but my elbow's still killing me, or I still have this back pain, or I can't sleep in my bed anymore, or I can't even work anymore, my autoimmune disease is so bad. Though they've tried everything else, and then they come to me, and within about 3 to 4 months their whole life is changing before their eyes.
Awesome. Because a lot of things like foods actually drives our energy, I guess. Right, it drives our energy, not like, for example, energy drinks, like maybe they
Right.
do, but for like 5 minutes and that's it. I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, and it drives you like up for 5 minutes, and then you're like basically you want to go to sleep.
Because your
So yeah.
body's used to it, and then it says, uh-oh, it's gone. So the liquid that I give people is not an energy drink. It fixes the cells. So it takes that gumball cell that's dilapidated and dehydrated, and it plumps it back up again. There's a little factory in every cell, and it helps that factory to work better to create the energy. So we're getting down to the root cause, right? We're fixing
So you will have better energy for your day to wake up early in the morning and finish your day until the evening, like you're still doing the work that you should be doing.
Exactly. And then you need to have the proper sleep, because if you don't have the proper sleep, that's when your body rejuvenates. That's when your cells talk and fix each other. So you need to make sure that, so when you have proper energy throughout the day, you have proper sleep. And when you have proper sleep, you wake up that much better, and it all becomes a vicious cycle. Some of my clients haven't slept more than 2 hours in years, right?
Wow.
By the time they fall asleep, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Boom, they have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work. So lots of people have huge sleep issues, and a couple of weeks working with them, they're able to get 5-6 hours sleep in a night. It changes their whole life.
Amazing. So there is no like some kind of a magic pill to pump yourself up. It just needs to be, for example, good nutrition, good sleep, good habits, and you are up for the races in that. There's no like magic pill to go through and
So there's no magic pill, but when we drink this Redox that I've been talking about, it's not a magic pill. It takes time, but it creates better healing within the body, and the body becomes the magic for itself. Yeah.
Great, awesome. So, do you recommend, for example, your clients to have like what they say, cheat days or something like that, or there is like you encourage them to have this to be a habit and to drive them throughout their entire life?
So I definitely work with people to have good habits, and it's, having a piece of cake shouldn't be a cheat. It should just be part of life. But if you respect your body enough and you learn to respect your body enough, you're not going to want to have the cake 4 times a day, because you're going to see the difference between how you feel when you're eating all the junk food and when you're just having it sometimes. So, I'm not saying that you can never eat chips again. You can never, have a piece of cake again. Those are definitely things that you can do, right? Like you can say Saturday night, I go out for dinner with friends and I eat whatever I want. That's totally fine. But we need to look at the patterns, and we need to look at how people feel. And if they're not feeling great, how do we counteract that? So there's lots that can be done there.
Oh, awesome. So you wrote a book, right? It's like
Yes.
mainly for children, I think.
Yes, I wrote a book. It's called I Am a Peaceful Goldfish, and it's for children. And there you go. And it teaches children how to take a deep breath in and let it out. So, they're upset, and then they see the goldfish swimming in the bowl, and they're like, I want to be peaceful like the goldfish too. So they take a deep breath in, and when they breathe out, they are the goldfish. And then, they see a dragon in the room. So they take a deep breath in, and when they breathe out, they're the dragon. So it's a fun little book to teach children how to calm down in situations. Yeah.
Cool, awesome, amazing. What would you say one takeaway from this episode?
I think the major takeaway is that if you're not feeling at your very best, or your business is not at its very best, there's other opportunities out there that you just have not heard about yet. You just have not tried yet. And when the opportunity presents itself at the best time, at that time, take advantage of it. Right. So I work with lots of people like me whose business wasn't doing good enough. And boom, all of a sudden we could change that, or their health wasn't good enough and we could change that. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that there is more opportunity. And, I totally enjoy talking to people about opportunities of how they can improve their quality of life.
Yeah, this is important, and it happens every day. It's a process.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is a process.
Yeah.
It's consistency. It's consistency, but when we aren't consistent for one day, it doesn't mean that we should continue that way. Every time we wake up in the morning and go to do our business tasks, or every time we eat a meal, it's an opportunity to start fresh and make decisions that we know will help us move forward in life.
Awesome. Shoshana, when can people get in touch with you?
So if they'd like to find out more about me, I have a website called shoshanachaim.com. So it's my name.com, and that the website's still being built, but there's lots there. And they can reach out through there. And I would love to offer your listeners a 15-minute free consultation, how I can help them in life, with health or business. I'd love to give them some pointers.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here today with me on this episode of the Success Secret podcast.
Thank you so much, Hussein. It's nice to be here with you.